I just hate that maintain this crap. Oof. Mm. Hey, yo, what's up, Night Fart? We actually had a good day today, man. We had a great day, great trading day. Was able to make $7,800 in one of my evals today. If I took the orb, I would have passed the account, but we'll take the win. I will definitely take the win. How about you? Mm. Man. So I don't believe that we're going to get any price action tonight, or even potentially tomorrow. I don't think we will get that. Oh, congratulations on that, man. Yeah, those daily payouts on TPT, man. Once you get past that threshold, you definitely get rewarded for your patience. That's definitely for sure. Yeah, I would recommend getting some sleep, man. Why weren't you able to get some rest? You have some on your mind or something, or? Alright. Mm. I'll check it out. Dark khaki. That does look like that does look good. Yeah, dark khaki probably. For right now, I mean, if I choose to change it. You said that you were chatting with women. Who's Bill Knox? Who's that? Mm, mm, mm. Can't use that color. Medium turquoise looks decent. Light sea green. Turquoise. Yeah, that's turquoise is too bright. Aquamarine. I think the light sea green was decent. Yeah. Check dark turquoise. Yeah, dark turquoise. So what I'm looking for right now, I think the orb is more powerful than I actually believe it to be. I believe that if I track this thing for an entire week, I'll see that the market probably responds to it. So what I'm going to start doing is once the opening range is formed, uh, I'm going to have it project the entire week. And I'm going to color code the ranges so I know which day, which day's orb I'm looking at. And I want to see how the market reacts to it throughout the week. So I'm gonna start tracking it now throughout the week now and just color coded. So y'all guys know which what day the range is as well. So everything's gonna be color coded. And with these charts, I'll just have the opening range. I won't have the value area on these. I'll just have the high, low, and the EMAs on this chart. I won't have none of the other stuff on the chart though. I'll probably put the pivot points back on the chart, but that's probably it. Yeah, it's more like a pink color actually. No, that's too bright. Mm. Yeah, medium orchid. Orchid. Hey, yo, what's up, Cave Trader? What's up? I think if I'm not mistaken, Bull Knox is close to Apex, but I could be mistaken. I don't trade with him. I don't do business with bull knocks. I mean, Nightfart, if you're looking for another prop firm that pays daily, I mean, they basically have the same rules, just like Take Profit Trader. It's trade day. If you're still looking for that second firm to trade with, you got to trade the. I don't know. I think what TPT is 5 days, trade day is 7, but you still get the daily payouts afterwards. So I mean, if that's what you're looking for, okay, that's cool. Friday. All right, cool. All right. So today was Thursday. And this color should be, so this is for Wednesday. Wednesday is dark khaki. Oh my God, dude. Fuck. Um, it's dark something. Okay. I think it's like dark turquoise or something like that. Yeah. I don't know why I did that. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's for the ES. Oh shit. That's for the ES. Well, we'll see how well, I guess we'll just how it reacts. Okay. Uh, mm. What's up? Okay. Mm. So you're saying that trade day is more expensive? Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of any prop firm that forces you to trade a specific number of days before you can reach a funded account. I'm not a fan of any of that. When someone tells me that I can't take a payout because of, or not a payout, I gotta wait to be funded. I tend to not trade with that company. I gotta probably find like a. Okay. All right. All right. So I think this system's gonna work comparing to 150Ks. Mm. Yeah, I know for whatever reason, trade day has always been. I think trade day was probably the first firm that came into the space that made it a point that they did not want gamblers. They had it in their documentation earlier on that they could reject payouts due to windfall victories. If you didn't have a consistent strategy, they reserved the right to deny a payout. Once I read that in the documentation earlier on, I've always had a negative opinion about them. I don't think that they're a bad firm. I just don't like the fact that with all the restrictions, some people need those restrictions. I feel like that's too much. And there's better firms out there with better rules out there. So I've always just had a negative opinion about trade day. That's it. Yeah, Bullnox, just like Apex, they have cheap accounts. It's just that it's cheap to play the game, but when it's time to get paid out, uh, if I like I said, if I'm not, well, I guess I could just look at it instead of making assumptions. The last time I checked, Bullnox was very similar to Apex. The last time I checked, and me personally, I don't trade Apex like companies. I mean, if you're gonna be Apex, then I might as well just trade with Apex. That's just my opinion. If you're gonna have the same deals, and you're just gonna copy them word for word, account for account, eh, Might as well just trade at Apex. All right, so let's look at this real quick. So I'm guessing what their funded account is like their live account. What's the special account? Oh, so that's a trial period. Says upon completion of 3 successful payouts under a master account and subject to the sole discretion of the risk management department, qualified traders shall transition to a funded account, thereby permitting them to trade with real capital. So I guess the funded account over here at Bullnox is their live account. Mm, okay. Mm, okay. Mm. Looks like they have, the cap payouts, maximum. That's how much you can take out. And after your third payout, there is no more maximum withdrawal. You can take out as much as you want. They have a 40% consistency rule too. But then after the third payout, you may be eligible to actually be moved to a funded account, which depending on how much money you have in that account, I'm pretty sure they'll move you to the funded account, which I can see how they can abuse this. I can see how they can because not saying that they will. And not K Trader, but Knife Art says that he's known people that have made 15K with Bull Knox, and I'm pretty sure they have. I mean, with these firms, if you're not paying out, the community will hear about it, and that'll be it would have a negative impact on your firm. So I don't believe for a second that these firms don't pay out. That's why what you profit, I will never business with UProfit ever again after the stunts that they pulled. Never do business with them ever again. I know a lot of traders would probably never do business with them, but they service a part of the world that a lot of people don't service. I think it's with South America, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm mistaken, I don't care. But yeah, they got their customer base because they're their only option. So I guess because of that reason, they feel that they can just do anything they want, and they'll still receive business because traders are going to want the opportunity to make money. But I will never do business with them ever again. But according to this, depending on which size you get, the first 3 payouts depends on the account size. So if you got the 150K, the most you can withdraw is $6,000. After the third payout, there is no maximum withdrawal limit. It says within the safety reserve limits, conservative find the minimum amount required to remain in the trader's account. And so if you have a 150K, you have to have at least $4,600 in your account before you can take out a $2,000 payout. So you need $6,600 in your account to get that first payout. Oh, okay. It says to request any payout and can be processed. Trader has to complete it at least 10 days of individual trading. Okay. This right here is the same reason why I don't like, or I didn't like, what's it called? Tradeify. Actually, shit, it looks like Tradeify is actually doing the same thing. You can only withdraw $1,500 after 10 trading days. Yeah, this is very similar to Tradeify's payout structure. When it comes to firms that have these 2 weeks, you got to trade for 2 weeks. You got to trade within a consistency rule. You have your position scaled. And once you get past all those hurdles, you can only withdraw a small amount of money after 2 weeks of hard work. I'm sorry. I'm not doing business with those firms. That's a long time. And as a trader, we know all it takes is 1 day and it just takes 1 day to lose 9 days of work. It just takes 1 day, especially if you're trading the Nasdaq. I'm getting to the point now where it's like, man, if I lose 1 trade a day, I'm just closing out for the day. If I lose 1 trade, then I'm done. I'm getting to that point now. Actually, I feel like I've arrived at that point. I just have to start implementing that and just coming back the next day. I don't need to look for a follow-up trade to try to get my money back. It's just going to be a one and done thing. Or at least that's what I want to start working towards. Just one and done. One and done. Okay. All right, so let's get this opening range data done. Yeah. Okay. All right. So the orb, we had another day of beautiful orb, a beautiful orb play on the Nasdaq. As soon as price broke out of this orb, shit, we literally had the market just go. All right, so the orb high is 986. Okay, so today's July 3rd. And, you know, no, we're not gonna do that. You're not gonna feel that way. You said it. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. You said that she's a scam artist. Yeah, I don't know who that is. Is she a trader? Does she trade these accounts, or is she or does she just promotes them? When it comes to influencers, if a new prop firm drops that isn't established and they're talking about, and an influencer's like, oh yeah, this is the best new prop firm. I mean, it's hard to say that they're not being paid for their marketing. I mean, especially if they're new. How do you know if the prop firm is good if they're new? That's just my opinion. If you choose to trust her opinion, I mean, I'll look at it myself. You said it's called Salvius, whatever. So, I mean, this sounds new. I mean, I would I highly doubt that an opinion can be formed if they have no track record. But futures trading, is this them right here? Is this them? All right, introduces a revolutionary prop firm trading concept. This firm has been around for 10 years. That means that this firm was around the same time that Top Step was around. It's funny how I'm just now hearing about this from you. Instant funding. So the company probably was around for 10 years, but this is the first time that I've heard of this firm. We'll look at the challenges. We'll look at their documentation because I mean it doesn't matter how much they sell their courses for, their accounts, their evals, whatever they call them. All right, so let's learn more about them. It says clone up to 5 accounts. Imagine replicating. Goodbye to challenges. Blah blah blah. All right, so tell me how much it cost. All right, so this is all right. So, all right, so they hit you with everything, and then they hit you with the price. All I had to say is when I see accounts, especially 25 and 50Ks, over $100, when I see this price tag, I really don't know who their customer base is. I don't know. I really don't know who their customer base would be. The established firms are already fighting for market share as it is already with cheap prices. When you're selling a 25K for $300, I guess if you're adding a discount to it to kind of make a customer feel like they have a deal. So kind of like what Apex does. If it's $580 with a discount, it makes people feel like they got a deal. Max drawdown is $1,200. You got a 20% consistency rule, and you have to trade 10 days. Max payout per cycle is $1,000. $2,200, 35, 4, 54. And I guess they do this when you copy trade a multiple accounts. So I guess the way that they have everything priced, it's encouraged to have multiple accounts. Right now it's 41% sale. The 300K. I don't know if I'm looking at the instant. Okay, so yeah, I'm looking at the instant funded right now. And you said the 300K. I'm not clicking that. I know better than that. I'm not uploading any PDF file, especially from WordPress. Especially from WordPress. All right, so the 300K. All right, so you got a profit goal of 21K. A max daily drawdown of 15,000. That's interesting. That's interesting. You can lose half of that, so you get $7,500 of daily loss limit per day. No overnights, 20%, 10 trading days, 40 minis. So that would be $600 for this account. $629 with the 45% discount that you said that. So I wonder if it's the 45% And it says that if you purchase 5, you get an addition, you get 20% discount. So I wonder if those stack discounts on this. Hmm. Well, I mean, Nightfart, if you're willing to spend the money, I say, hmm. I've already shared my thoughts about firms outside of the big names, the ones that are in the mainstream, obviously. Like your Tradeifys, My Funded Futures, Top Step, and Apex, Take Profit Trader, and Trade Day. I mean, outside of those, it's hard for me to. I mean, I don't understand. Well, it's hard to justify the trade outside of those firms. It's just hard to justify that. Like I said, I don't know who these people are. This is my first time seeing these people. I don't know what their track record is. Let me see if I can find a YouTube video on them. I mean, if somebody's talking about them, I mean, if they're a good firm, someone's made a video about them. Okay. Yeah, I don't see any videos popping up, man. Nobody is talking about this firm. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Well, that's my opinion, Nightfart. Uh, that's a lot of money to be paying for a firm that doesn't have a track record. I don't know if they pay out. I don't know their time frame of when they pay out, but it does look like they have everything straightforward. Um, yeah. If that's how you want to spend your money. Okay. So it looks like the Nasdaq is coming back into the orb from this morning. And this is what these boxes are going to represent moving forward. We're going to color code these orbs like I said before. Uh 92975. And 96. All right. So we can know where the orb is moving forward with the price action. I'll just start projecting these out into the end of the week. And I'm gonna start doing this for all the ranges moving forward, so we know where they're at. Because especially this week, the market has definitely been keeping track of these orbs, and the market has been reacting. Like this right here is a good example of what happens when the market doesn't come back and retest the orb during the trading session, and as soon as it touches it in the next session, we get this big move down. If we look at it, price broke out of this orb yet again, used it as support, and we got price moving up, forming this new range. So, uh, yeah, we got this range on top of a range. I guess that with situations like this, when we have ranges on top of each other, well, we'll figure it out. I guess we'll just have the ranges overlap. Yeah, it looks like the price used this range to bounce off of it too. Mm. We'll see how this looks. Like I said, we'll test it out next week and see how it looks. Okay. Alright. All right. Okay. So let's get back to the all right. So the Nasdaq necessarily didn't do anything today. And so at mm, so about 8:53. I mean, technically, there was not even a false breakout today. That's what's crazy. This is manipulative behavior from the Nasdaq. This is manipulative behavior. She just went straight up. Hey, Cave Trader, did you take your profits at the highs, or did you held even through this small little dip right here? So I know that you was up at least 100 points. Was you able to take some of that profit off? All right. That's it. Wow. Okay. That's it. That is definitely manipulative behavior from the Nasdaq. The last 3 days, we've been getting clean price action outside the orb. Clean price action. Okay. Huh. So yeah, man. So it looks like so around that 8:30. The market has been starting out around like 200 to about 300,000 contracts being traded from the time the 8:30 candle opens until the 8:45 candle closes. So we've definitely been seeing the same amount of volume at the start. There's always something, dude. Okay. I must have not have captured it, but it just closed when the session was over. Yeah, like I said, that's the main reason why I don't trade them in my funded accounts, because the Nasdaq just keep on going, and I don't know when to get out. And when I do get out, and it keeps going, um, that's when it becomes dangerous for me. That's when it becomes dangerous for me, because I'll get into a full position what could potentially be the highs. Yeah, gold isn't doing anything. Hmm. Yeah, gold has definitely just been man, I had an opportunity to short this today and I wish I took it. I wish I took that short. What I probably should have did was what I probably should have done was look at the chart and drew this trend line because I was thinking that the market was going to retest the bottom of this breaker structure right here. Actually, let me just draw it out. Well, right where price broke structure right here. I was looking for a short right there. And that's where I had my limit. I was actually looking at this too because there was a fib level here, but I was thinking to myself, I put my entry right here. It's going to probably shoot up, hit my original entry, and then drop. But no, it rejected off of that fib level and traded to the downside, which always sucks. And stuff like that always sucks, man. It's the ones that you don't take, those are the ones that work. And the ones that, and then when you do take it, it goes to your original thought. But after I drew this trend line, I realized why it stopped right here. Usually, the market has a hard time trying to find support at the top of a trend line. You can see that even though it hasn't really reached the apex, I do think that we'll probably see a drop back to the trend line before the bulls, if the bulls are able to recover from this. But it looks like they'll probably test the bottom of this trend or the top of this trend line again before we see a move to the upside. This is obviously bearish in gold. I would look more for short opportunities than long opportunities with gold right now. There's a lot of bearishness on the higher time frame chart. This is a lot of bearishness for gold right now. The bulls' only hope is to find support at that trend line. That's their only hope right now. Mm. Yeah. Yeah, that just makes it easier. Mm. Oof. I mean, even if it's a small pullback, it's still a pullback. Mm. I mean, even if they, well, I mean, I guess it really depends because that was a really big move to the upside. So we could see a deep retracement. We could see a real deep retracement here. Mm. I didn't realize that even happened. Okay. Oh shit. I'm tripping. I'm tripping. All right, so the July. And these are the times when I 2025. All right, so today was definitely a bullish trend today. It was definitely a bullish trend. All right, so price traded 247 points to the upside. Oh. We saw price sell off 73 points going into the close. Hmm. You said you sent 2 images? Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, you definitely have to you definitely have to play the numbers game for sure. What is this? What is this testing out? Yeah, because I see. So yeah, when you're playing the numbers game, the P&L will definitely show up in your favor depending on your drawdown and depending on if you get the wins earlier on versus the losses. But if you're losing 800 out of so you have 602 trades that are winners, 170 that I'm assuming are break even, and then you have 806 losses. You got 1,000 wins over 2K losses. Mm. You would definitely have to trust in the numbers. Mm. So, what strategy is this thing trading? What is it? What is it trading? And what is the position sizing and everything? I'm still debating on how I want to proceed with that because it just seems that it just seems every. I mean, if you want to trade these accounts as if they're your small personal accounts, and if you just ignore the fact that you have $5,000 of buying powers on an account that has a drawdown of $2,500 and trade it as if it was a $2,500 account. Trading 1 to 3 micros is ideal, but that's a whole lot of wasted time because, yeah, you'll be compounding your account over time. You can have a couple of losses and a couple of red days, and it won't necessarily hurt the account. But man, it's being up 100 points, 200 points, 300 points on 3 micros, man, that hurts. And I'm not encouraging oversizing or anything like that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. But I'm pretty sure given the option, I would rather be up 100 points on 3 minis than 3 micros. But Cave Trader, you definitely are trading these accounts correctly with the proper sizing and everything like that. I just hate the fact that if I trade like that, if I do that, I won't build the account up fast enough, or not fast enough, but at the rate that I want to, which is fast. Have a good night. And this is only using 1 micro. And is this closing the position the positions intraday, or is this being allowed to swing overnight? Ugh. Because I was thinking about potentially trading the Nasdaq the correct way with the small sizing. And I was thinking about what would make sense in terms of risk to reward. In the accounts where you have to trade with consistency. So like my funded futures, if you're trading the 5K, the 50K, making more than $450 would be making more than $500 a day is not ideal. You won't be able to receive the maximum payout if you trade over $450 in their starter account and in their starter plus account. So thinking about accounts like that, it doesn't make sense to have a one-to-one stop and target for $450 because I believe that's what 22 or something like that. I like to trade with a 27-point stop, which is a $540 loss if it hits my stop on a one contract position. You need $450 daily to get the maximum payout, which is I think about like $25 or $23 or some shit like that. Yeah, you need like 24 points. It doesn't make sense to trade a mini with that. It makes sense to trade like maybe 6 to 7 micros in one position where you can have a 27-point stop. And in order to make that $450, you would have to get like 45 points or something like that, which that's like a full-fledged position right there. That's a full-fledged position. And a 27-point stop will probably be like what, $270, risking 27 points to make about 40, 45. And that should be ideal, but man, I just hate the idea of having to catch 45 points to make $450. I hate that idea. But it just doesn't make sense to have a one-to-one stop and target with a full mini. If all I'm required to make is $450. Mm. My biggest issue so far is just like just position sizing. That's it. You know, honestly, man, from the data that we're collecting so far with this orb, man, I might not even take. I don't care if okay. I mean, it really depends. The market really has to be showing that it wants to go lower. Because even on the day where it looked like it was supposed to go low, the market is, I mean, I guess for right now, we're getting more breaks to the upside than to the downside. And this is on the Nasdaq. I have yet to see in the past 2 weeks a breakdown to the downside on the ES. I haven't seen it yet. We've had price break below it and then trade right back in to the range, trapping the bears that got aggressive at that break and trading right back up to the top. So I will try to make the best judgment based on context of the market, what the market was doing before the orb. Because shit, the only clean break that we got was that day where the market was already coming down. Was that last week? Oh, that's interesting. And that was July 1st. I must have not have taken that data down. Honestly, I could have sworn I did. I could have sworn I did. Okay, so yeah. I was like, no, I know I did. That was the only time this week that we had price break to the low. I guess we did have this break right here as well, but then it came right. So it broke out, and then towards the end of the day, it broke to the low, and then it traded right back into the range, and then broke out higher, and broke right back above the range. Hmm. Yeah, what's up, Bustani? You said higher lows. Yeah, overall, the market is definitely bullish. If that's what you're saying, the market is definitely bullish. I do think that we will probably see a. Oh, this is the ES. I apologize. Right now, if we do see a bullish push, my only concern, if I was long in this, I want to see price come back into this range before I go long. My only concern in this position would be that all the EMAs are now sloping to the downside. You have the medium, long, short, and VWAP all pointing to the downside right now. You have price trending to the downside, making lower highs and lower lows. So if we do see a push, there's definitely going to be resistance right there. Testing that resistance trend line. And if we can get a break and the bulls hold the pullback, then we can definitely see a bullish continuation for sure. You said if it doesn't want to top at 350, this could be the top. You know, we'll see. I think the market might chop to the downside a little bit. We are kind of overextended. All the big players, I'm pretty sure they've taken their profits. I'm looking for a pullback into this range. And we'll probably see a pop, maybe retesting 2350 or something. Uh, yeah, probably the swing high right here is it's going to probably be a great spot for the market to take their profits at the swing high, this one or that one. But the market definitely needs to rebalance and kind of dip into these lows a little bit because we just went straight up on the Nasdaq. Hmm. Okay. Well, if I have overlapping ranges, if the opening range overlaps, then I'm not going to project, or maybe I should. We'll make it work. We'll make it work. I don't necessarily need it for this chart. If anything, I would only need it for. Mm. Yeah, that would have been tough. That would have been a tough one. That would have been a tough one because that one would have super failed. Man, that would have super failed. Oh, they just filled it just now? Yeah. Uh, I don't think so, Cave Trader. It's too expensive. Compared to the competition, it's expensive. Top Step. I feel that Top Step is I mean, it's their business, but they know that a lot of traders trade on Tradeovate. I don't even honestly I really I trade on Tradeovate because I have to, not because I want to. I prefer to trade on NinjaTrader 8. It's a powerful platform. Uh, I can project all my drawings into the future, at least a year, 10 years if I wanted. There's a lot of capabilities on NinjaTrader 8. Um, I really don't take anything else seriously outside of NinjaTrader 8. But them going 100%, going all in with Top Step X, uh, I don't think that's a good business move because they're going to lose their Tradeovate customers, especially with the competition using Tradeovate, and it's cheaper. If you don't prefer to trade on the X platform, then Top Step is not even an option. And then it's the if you're trading a 150K is a $150 buy-in and a $150 activation fee. Now, I know that these other firms now are just adding the activation fee into the price and just say, "Oh, look, there is no activation fee." I understand that game. The activation fee is just in the price. I don't know. I guess it depends on what you're looking for as a trader. I think what I think Top Step is more expensive because they have a very simple payout structure. You get $200 in 5 trading days. You get a payout. I think them capping their payouts to $5,000 hurts them, but obviously they made that decision to cut cost. I mean, that's why else would they make that decision? Um, to cut costs. Uh, so if you think trading for 5 days and a $5,000 payout is fair, and with a $300 price tag at the most, then Top Step is pretty solid. But if that's not what you're looking for, then no. I guess at the end of the day, it's really what you're looking for. No, I have not. Why are they suing Patrick Wheeling for Whelan for 10 million? What is the basis of their lawsuit? That's interesting. That's the first that I've heard of that. Is 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 Top Step suing him for slander? That's interesting. The market should be closing at 12 o'clock Central Time, 1 o'clock Eastern. I'm waiting for about like 10 more minutes or a couple more minutes. What the fuck? Okay. All right. Okay. All right, guys. That's it for me tonight. I think we're going to. I think this is what we should expect for tomorrow as well. We'll still trade the orb, but I think this is what we should expect. I think all the big players will be enjoying the fourth tomorrow, and especially with tomorrow being a half day, I think that's highly likely. So, but all right, guys, we'll definitely come back tomorrow morning, and we'll look for more opportunities to earn some more money. And with that said, peace out, everybody.